One of the biggest threats to your company may not be your competition, may not be budgets, may not be the season. It comes down to the people on your team who don't want to implement. So why do you need to figure out who these people are faster and then get them out of your business? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan coming to you live for Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales, opportunity, growth, people who don't want to see growth, and a fantastic day to talk about you. So one of the conversations that I have to have with companies when they bring me in to work with them for consulting is there's going to be people on your team that are for this training and they're for this consulting, and then there's going to be people who are not. So what we need to do is we need to identify who's on board and who's possibly not on board, because that's going to be the friction point of your business. That's going to be the thing that either helps your investment or that's going to be the thing that ruins your investment. And you're like, hey, Scott, well, how can I tell if somebody is not on my team? I'm going to give you some really easy answers. This may hurt feelings, but you need to know. So if you're having a meeting and you're having a conversation and in the back of your mind, you're like, please, blank person, I hope they don't show up. That's a sign that person's probably going to be against any new opportunities. Next up is the person that complains about every new idea, concept, and strategy and says it's going to fall back on them. Next up is the person that you flat out know 100% is going to obstruct and stop any type of progress. Next on this list is the person that behind the scenes is building a team so that they can get their way. And the reason that I bring all this up is I will share with you that pretty much about 33% of the companies that I work with don't get the lift that they need because the conversations are scared to be had with the person that doesn't want to implement. It's not my consulting. It's not my coaching. It's the inability for the team to implement. It's the inability for a team to move forward. And this is why I like to have a very candid conversation with business owners and saying, hey, listen, I know what I bring to the table works. I know that what I'm going to share with you is an absolute opportunity, but what you're going to have to question is who's not on board. Are they not on board because they're uncomfortable? Are they not on board because they just want to do things their way? Are they not on board because they're never, ever going to be on board? And it's one of the tough conversations to have. And so sometimes what it comes down to is these employers really want to hold on to an individual because they're long-term friends, because the employee has worked there, because their family. There's usually those three buckets right there. But that person has no problem holding the company back. That person has no problem holding a division back or a department back. But they're kept around the business, and it creates problems because everybody else around the business is looking and they're going, we're doing everything that we're supposed to do. And that person over there isn't, and they're holding us back. Why am I working so hard? And then so they start falling back. So my thing for you is you have some decisions to make. 1, talk to an attorney. 2, have that conversation and make a decision. And then 3, take action. Right? So there's only a couple of things that are going to happen. Either that person is going to stay and they're going to change. They're going to be left in their position and keep you held back. Or 3, they're going to be let go. We're going to use some first principle thinking and say, hey, what are the opportunities here? What are the directions that company can go? I think this is probably one of the most important conversations that I can have as a consultant is, yes, I know what I'm doing. Yes, I can help you, but who on your team is going to hold you back? Who on your team isn't going to like the idea, the concept, or the strategy because they're uncomfortable or because they want control or because they just don't want to do it? I would say that if you're on a growth trajectory, there's going to be people who belong on the bus. There's going to be people who need to be asked to leave. That decision isn't up to me. That decision is entirely up to you. But at some point, you have to have it either with yourself, with your team, or with the person who's going to hold you back and cause you harm, right? And if you think of this as an investment and you say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to acquire 100 leads at $1,000 each, and you spend $100,000 on leads, you would want to make sure that your sales team is going out and doing everything that they can to make those deals happen, to close deals, to bring in revenue, to bring in profits. But if I told you one person's going to go in there and they're going to do everything they can to screw up 20% of your leads, what are you going to say about that? Hopefully your answer is, I got to fix that person who's ruining 20%. Now, instead of it being a marketing conversation, what if we talk about fulfillment? What if we talk about answering the phones? What if we talk about any other place in your business? If that is the typical number, somewhere between 10 and 20% of productivity is where this person is stopping progress, and sometimes 50 to 60. And when you start putting some math to it and saying, okay, this person's gumming up the works and they're not allowing me to do what needs to be done, what you're going to find out is it's a significant cost, not just to the bottom line today, it's also the future value of your money and the future value of yourself. If that's what you decide to do. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon.